Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of Foreclosurepedia Podcast. Foreclosurepedia Podcast premieres each Sunday evening at 2300 hours on the Foreclosurepedia Radio Network. We wanted to get out an immediate alert about our good buddies Jason Mathis and Brandon Lambert. As you all may remember, we had an enormous issue with these people last year during the winter. Jason Mathis and Brandon Lambert, both of these people, they're felons. I believe Lambert is still wanted. They defrauded us, and we had to reach out to AMS REO in Pennsylvania, and we had to reach out to CWIS LLC out in Colorado to get our money from these people. And during the course of the whole thing, and you can go back through, you can go to our website here, foreclosurepedia.org, and actually track back through everything and, see the whole story. But over the whole period of the investigation, we found that Mathis had actually begun to target African American females. Here's Mathis. Mathis is a complete disgrace to the uniform, a complete disgrace to the United States military, a complete disgrace to the honorable men and women who have served, and have given the ultimate sacrifice for their country. Mathis and Lambert had freely, willingly, and with overt intention targeted African American females in the Southeast amongst other contractors and defrauded them. Never had paid them. And this was upon Veterans Administration properties and on some HUD properties. And we reached out to Craig Carnes, whom is the director of the M&M at HUD. And there wasn't a lot he could do, simply because there weren't that many HUD issues. With respect to the VA, we reached out to the Veterans Administration Office of Acquisitions, Logistics, and Contracting, and I believe they still have an investigation ongoing about them. During the course of our interview and actually investigating the whole matter, Lambert's presumed sister, you can go and read this, Quarantine, the Lambert Dynasty Circles the Wagons, had reached out and had said, "Oh, we have nothing to do with this, please don't associate us with this," and, yada yada. Didn't want to give anybody any information, didn't want to give law enforcement any information, didn't want to assist in bringing her brother to justice, neither here nor there. During the course of this, the Mathis and Lambert enterprise, because that's precisely what this is. This is federal racketeering. This is RICO. These people freely, willingly, and with overt intention extend their reach, their influence upon an area of operations, crossing state lines using electronic means as wire fraud. They do this full knowingly. That what they're doing is committing federal crimes. Everybody is aware of this. AMS REO is aware of this, because they ended up having to foot Lambert and Mathis's bill, and they chose not to have them prosecuted. CWIS LLC is fully aware of this. They chose not to prosecute Lambert, Mathis. So they spun up a new company, and we're working with an outfit had spun it up between South Carolina and Georgia. We reached out to these people. This Antoine Edward Adams, we're still somewhat pursuing that matter. They said, "Oh, we've taken them off our paperwork, and it's all good. Let's sing Kumbaya in the basement now." Bullshit. Didn't believe a word they said then. I still don't believe a word they say now. So, during the course of all this, we thought that perhaps law enforcement or somebody with enough common sense had removed them from the equation, and perhaps they had gone about their day. We never thought that the property preservation industry, the very same industry that Wells Fargo, Jim Taylor, the National Association of Mortgage Field Services are all up on soapboxes screaming about background checks would ever allow people like this back into the industry. We were wrong. We were wrong. We thought surely to God, if there is a God out there, that something would be done. They did not just prosecute these people. They did not just ensure background checks would be conducted going forward. Let's go over here. They spun up a new company, GM Property Services Incorporated. So you can kind of read this. Go to Ripoff Report. Just simply type in GM Property Services Incorporated. An individual ended up, posting a deal in there, and we ended up putting a rebuttal in here. Mathis and Lambert are wanted felons. I stated precisely who I am. Gave them precisely the article right here. I said, hey, we'll help you free of charge. I have a personal axe to grind with these punks, and will pursue criminal charges against these dirtbags until the day I die. And I want to add a little something there, because after I die, my son will continue to hunt these people down and their families. And when he dies, his family as well will. Until these people are locked away so they can do no more harm with the tacit support of the property preservation industry. So let's talk about this for a moment. There's an email, I redacted some of it. Lady reaches out to me. You can see very clearly here what precisely is going on. Saw your report on Ripoff Report, thought I would email you. Currently she has reached out to the company that Mathis and Lambert are getting their work from. You're going to love this one. You are going to love this one. So, who are they getting their work from? Here's our buddies again. Let's make sure we get a good close look at these people. I want you to study those faces. I want you to understand precisely who these people are. The lady who, and that contractor, and she states there's another 12 contractors. Now remember, once again, this lady has had over $5,000 taken from her. As a matter of fact, the first check they sent bounced. Gotta love that. The check bounced. Now, to her own detriment, she should have began and ended it there. She should have done an extensive, thorough search. And like I've been preaching forever, these companies, and I don't care who it is, I don't care if it's Safeguard, LPS, MCS, I don't care who it is, you need to run criminal background checks on these people. You need to find out who you're actually working for, because this woman states that all the work she did was Safeguard Properties work. Safeguard Properties. Now, if I go with what she says, and I have no reason to not believe her, because she is going to the district attorney's office, all this in East Tennessee. She's going to go to the district attorney's office here after Labor Day. I told her to have the district attorney call us. We maintain an enormous file. So this time there's not going to be all this hiding behind civil cases. This is criminal. These people are in Georgia, spun up a company yet again, in Georgia, in North Carolina. And I just want to make sure everybody understands. Here's the company, GM Property Services Incorporated. I mean, if I looked at this website, I'd immediately run. I want to make sure everybody gets a good look at this address here, the phone numbers, the email. Incidentally, here in the next day or so, we're going to make sure we get all of their emails up, everybody's email at this office, all the people associated with it. But I want to make sure we're all on the same page. So we went to the Department of the Secretary of State, Raleigh, North Carolina, GM Property Services here. And we went ahead and pulled their document, GM Property Services, Pay very close attention. Here's their filing numbers. Learn it, live it, know it. The registered agent is Jackie Green. This is important because originally, and if you go to Craigslist and you go for anywhere in East Tennessee, you're going to find the GM Property Services is the company. Jason Mathis does the original negotiating, but what happens is he signs all his documents as Jason Green. Now, I'm going to quote what the lady said here, and I've always suspected this. I can't prove it, but she said, I thought perhaps he was homosexual because he said, well, that's my partner's last name. It's my partner's last name. Now, Jackie's probably a female, but you know, I actually met Lambert face-to-face. Jason Mathis was, I guess, too afraid to come out of his little room. He is locked up in a room in their foreclosed home there in Atlanta, Georgia. Wouldn't come out of the room. But Lambert, for damn sure, has got to have a limp wrist. Yeah, I'm not anti-homosexual. You know, I have a great friend of mine here locally I do a ton of business with. A good buddy of mine. He actually does some work for A to Z Field Services, who's homosexual, but he's a stand-up guy. You know, this Lambert with his little club foot and walking along like the cripple that he is, you know, definitely got some sugar in that tank. And perhaps this is the reason that they do what they do. I don't know. But as we come on down here to the bottom, Jason Mathis, CEO. Now, my biggest question is, why are you signing your contracts as Jason Green? I understand you can change your name in marriage. I did a Google search. I didn't see a marriage license. But so anyway, I wanted to walk you down through this. This lady, and we're now interviewing 7 of the additional 12 contractors whom are all owed money. This is in the tens of thousands of dollars, ladies and gentlemen. They all say the work is originating with Safeguard. This lady here has sent an email already out to Safeguard stating they haven't been paid. Is Safeguard going to pay them? You know, I don't know. I personally doubt it. I don't think they will. There is no honor. There is no honor, in my humble opinion, in these fringe religious groups. No honor. No honor, and we know that. We know that when we go to the Bible. We know that categorically. So what they do, what they don't do, if they pay them, I'll report it. But you know what? They're felons. And they have a long and distinguished track record of defrauding people, including Foreclosurepedia, the company. So, I mean, what do? At what point in time does the property preservation industry get serious about removing these felons from the industry? This isn't civil anymore. This is active knowledge, active and ongoing knowledge. You know, maybe the company, all the information was put forth by Jackie Green, so now we have an enormous quandary. We have a really enormous quandary because if you can't verify who really is working for you, what in the fuck does the background check system matter? What does it really matter? It's a bunch of bullshit. You know, now I've opined, I'm not going to get into it here, about the Aspen Grove Solutions, these foreign nationals, Aspen Grove Solutions wanting to come forward, you know, with their background check program. But here's the deal. They don't know who the hell they're background checking. They do is they have a little database they go through. Why not tell contractors to go to their local law enforcement, pay the little $3 or $5, and have the FBI run a fingerprint check on these people? You got to produce ID. It proves who you are, because it doesn't make money. It doesn't make money. And just to touch on that, you know, I'm sickened. I'll give you guys a snapshot though, an Irish snapshot. Do you want control of your personal information here? Now here's something that a lot of people, and this is just a real quick deal, but let's actually talk about Ireland. This comes from Tracking Terrorism, an enormous report that was also quoted by the United States Army War College, their guide to national security issues. We have an enormous upswing and uptick in Muslim extremism, in terrorism in Ireland, not Northern Ireland, Ireland. We have the ex-head of the one of the prominent leaders within the Irish Republican Army just ran for president of Ireland. Martin McGuinness engaged in paramilitary activity during the Bloody Sunday slaughter, amongst an entire litany of other heinous activities. Ireland, folks. So we can't even run background checks here locally. We want to outsource all this to Ireland, and this is what you end up with. This is what you end up with. People like GM Property Services Incorporated being hired willy-nilly by the property preservation industry, and once again, the honest, dedicated men and women within the property preservation industry getting the shaft, taking it in the ass. I don't have a nice word for it. There's no PC term for this, because this has been going on and on and on. I tell you who we need involved. I mean, screw regulation in the industry. We need the FDIC to step in. We need the banking commission to step in, because these banks now need to be they need to start to investigate the banks. And with extreme specificity, Wells Fargo. There's just no other two ways about it, because I don't care how many layers of insulation, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, U.S. Bank, etc., it all ad nauseum. I don't care how many layers of insulation there is put. At the end of the day, these banks are hiring felons. They're hiring felons. I'm just sickened. I am completely sickened. I am completely distraught. I'm disappointed. Here you go, an email. Once again, GM Property Services, in this one particular case, $5,000. Now, perhaps to, the owners of these companies out there, $5,000 isn't much. My next podcast later on this afternoon is going to deal with a gentleman by the name of Brandon Pribble. And the accusation against him was that he complained about being owed $625 from SEAS. $625, that pays 4 months of my cell phone service. Yeah, I'm a blue-collared man. I'm a friend of labor. Help me help you. Help me help you. Let's put an end. Let's put a legal end to GM Property Services, and let's put people like AMS, REO, and CWIS on notice that you cannot just pay off people's debts and turn your back. When a crime is committed, that crime needs to be prosecuted. It's been another edition of Foreclosurepedia podcast. It's Labor Day weekend. I want to salute the men and women out there who are working their ass to the bone. Got their nose to the grindstone. I want to salute our valiant and honorable men and women serving around the nation right now and around the world, putting their ass on the line each and every day to protect us. Those in our United States Armed Forces, those in law enforcement. I want to salute everybody on this Labor Day weekend. Hopefully we're going to see change around the corner. I don't know. In the property preservation industry, I doubt it. I doubt it ever. You know why? Money. It gets shit done. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to give me a shout out, COO@foreclosurepedia.org. Thank you.